Hello and welcome back to another video tutorial here at Geekatplay Studios. My name is Gary Miller and we are continuing on our organic modeling tutorial, creating a model from a reference, either from a reference image or in this case from another reference model. So in continuing on, it's time to put some shoes on our little character. So I'm going to create a cube. And we will make some shoes out of this. Come up here to Vertex Modeling tab, click on Sweep Surface, hit my spacebar to get the function of this tool that I want. I created those extra sections here, subdivided it more because it'll give me more flexibility, more options when I go to shape the shoe, make a contour out of it. I'm going to take the top here and just scale it in a little bit. I want the bottom of the shoe to be a little wider than the top. I'm going to select these faces. I'm going to come up here to Sweep Surfaces again and just add a little bit of extrusion on the side, just like that. I'm going to select that polygon, come up here to Smoothing. I'm going to apply a little bit of smoothing to it. Click on Sweep Surfaces and make a hole in the shoe for little Lester's feet, just like that. Now it doesn't look like much right now, but we are still in the process of creating it. Let's put it on his foot here, and now we can start shaping the shoe how we want. I like the profile. The top is a little bit thinner than narrower than the bottom. I think I'm going to select that edge. I'm just going to drag the back out a little bit more. Select the top here, make it a little higher in the back. Move that out a little bit. Move it away from his pant leg. I think I'm going to grab this edge, pull it out a little bit. Now select these, loop that. No, I don't want to loop it. I select these top ones here and just bring it down a little bit. Select these top ones here, bring them down a little bit. Now it's starting to look a little bit more like a funny little cartoony shoe. I'll straighten that out. I think I will loop these, straighten them out, and move them back. That's looking pretty good. I think I'll select this face here and bring it in a little bit. I think I may want to bring his toe down. The back's looking a little bit thick. I think I'll bring that forward. And there's a very simple shoe, and I'm not going to go on and play with it anymore, simply because I could spend quite a bit of time doing that, and the idea is to get you familiar with the concepts of uh, creating a shape out of a primitive object. So with that as one shoe, I'll go ahead and name it, and let's create a duplicate. Control D and slide it over here to his other foot. Select those. Let's group those shoes. Name that. Let's put a brown color to those. New try to find a good brown color that'll complement Lester's shoes. That'll work. And I'm going to put some specularity to it, make it look nice and cartoonish. So there you go. There's some shoes for Lester. I readily admit that they are not the best looking things, but like I said, for the sake of time, we could probably be doing this all day and never accomplish anything else. So let's move on to, I guess we should put some arms on Lester here. And now we could easily create arms from his body in the same way that we created his shirt, which is simply clicking on some polygons and start extruding them, so long as we have symmetry modeling on. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to create his arms from a separate object. And come up here to primitives, come up here to cylinder. I'm going to get rid of all these horizontal sections, only because we're going to apply some smoothing to it, and we're going to increase the resolution quite a bit, so no need to have it quite this detailed to start off with, because we'll be adding plenty more as we go along. Scale it down. We've got to give him some little twiggy arms here. And that should be good to start off with. Let's enable his shirt, and we can put this into place. Let's rotate that, move it up. And you know, it doesn't even need to be, I'm going to switch to selection, because now if you notice, the orientation of my axes are no longer constrained to the world axis. It's constrained to the orientation of my object here. So now this is the world axis, and this is selection axis. Now when I move this, it moves in the direction of the object itself. As I was saying, it doesn't even need to be in contact with his body. It can be, I don't even think I'm going to put it in contact with his body. You certainly can if you want. I'm not going to, just to show. One, it's not really necessary, and two, you won't even notice it because his shirt sleeves will be covering it. So let me select this polygon, move it up, straighten it out a little bit, or reduce its length a little bit. Now I'm going to come here to vertex modeling, and I'm going to give him an elbow and a forearm. Now I need to make his hand, and that's for this thumb. Here's for his fingers, and that's his hand. And I'm not going to create one, duplicate it, and put it on the other side, because hands and feet need to be reversed. And so I'll just do each one singularly. I will duplicate that, but it's still going to need to be modeled further on its own. So let's apply one level of smoothing to that, and we can use this polygon here to create his thumb. Just a cute little thumb like that. You see how rounded this is now, just with one level of smoothing. That's why I didn't feel the need to have 8 points at the very beginning, because I knew we would be adding additional resolution to the model. And I don't like that. Let's switch this back to world mode. Oops, there we are, world mode. And let's just bring his hand in a little bit. I mean, there's so much freedom that is available in vertex modeling. Um, I mean, it is not, you don't have to worry about being overly precise because you are just really creating a shape out of like a lump of clay. I'm going to select those, loop that, selection to, oh, not points, I want faces. Click on that one. Click on that one. Now his entire forearm is selected. Now I'm just going to bend it into place. Just like that. And even if you don't have Poser or don't want to worry about setting up your character in Poser, creating a skeleton and stuff, there are some easy ways to do some very basic modeling here right in Poser to form your model in a very basic fashion without even having to go through Poser if you want to avoid that route. So there's a nice little bend to his arm. Here is his other arm. Let's rotate this one into place just to create a different look here. I'm going to rotate it. I didn't explain much on the difference between the world and the selection modes, but they can definitely be of great benefit if you practice and familiarize yourself with them. Okay, let's work on his other hand now. Click here, sweep surface. Let's create a little thumb for this fella. That looks good. Click on those, click on these. Let's cup his hand a little bit. And that thumb's looking a little long. I think he might be trying to hitch a ride. There we are. I'm going to click these and bring these in just a little bit. There we are. In fact, let's see if we can loop this. Loop that. Select these. Oh, get my fingers on the right keys here. And let's add a little bit of character to this hand. And loop those. The faces. Oh, we got a bunch of faces that weren't selected. Not a problem. Alright, now let's just rotate this a little bit to give it some character. Okay, there's Lester's hands, and before my children wake up and come downstairs and interrupt this recording, I'm going to stop here, and we will continue on with our next lesson. So thanks for watching here at Geekatplay Studios. My name's Gary Miller. Have a good day.